In this video, we will look at some of the possible emergencies in X-Plane 10 and how to deal with them in the Dryden Sims F-14B Tomcat. Understanding the systems and emergency procedures of the F-14 will help you when a routine flight turns nasty. Emergencies can happen at any time. In the F-14, you will have a RIO to help you work through the emergencies. Well, maybe you'll be on your own. Either way, let's look at some of the emergencies you may encounter. You can activate emergencies in the Equipment Failures tab in X-Plane. Not all failures will apply to the F-14. You can allow random failures and set the mean time between failures, or select the specific failure. You can set certain parameters like what time it will fail or at what airspeed it will fail. To handle the emergencies, refer to the F-14B NATO's manual or the Pocket Checklist. Both are available for download at drydensims.com. Many failures will be detected by the appropriate light on the caution and advisory panel. Some are benign, like a transformer rectifier light, but some can have serious consequences if not handled quickly, like a bleed duct light. Refer to the PCL to figure out how to respond to a warning, caution, or advisory light. A hot start will be identified by a rapidly rising EGT. Shut off the engine. If you get a fire light on the ground, pull both fuel shutoff handles and secure both throttles. If you get a fire light on your takeoff roll, first do the aborted takeoff procedure. Throttles idle, speed brake extend, stick aft. You can drop the hook to catch the far end arresting gear if required. Respond to the fire light once the aborted takeoff is under control. If you blow a tire on takeoff, abort or take off as required. If you take off, keep the throttles as required and keep the landing gear and flaps as set for takeoff. If you lose an engine on takeoff or the catapult shot, set 10 degrees pitch attitude, 14 units AOA maximum, rudder, opposite roll yaw, supplemented by lateral stick. Both throttles as required for positive rate of climb, landing gear up, jettison if required. Now let's say you're minding your own business one day and you get a fire light. Throttle affected engine idle. Air source push button off. If the fire light remains illuminated, fuel shutoff handle affected engine pull, throttle affected engine off, climb and decelerate, fire extinguisher push button to press. If you get a compressor stall, unload the aircraft 0.5 to 10 G. If greater than 1.1 indicated Mach number, both throttles to mill. When 1.1 indicated Mach number or less, both throttles smoothly to idle. If EGT is above 935 degrees and or the engine response is abnormal, throttle affected engine off. If you have an engine flame out, throttle affected engine idle or above. Backup ignition switch on. If hung start or no start, throttle affected engine, cycle off, then idle. If still hung start or no start, engine mode select switch sec. If one engine is running, perform a cross-bleed air start. If both engines are out, or cross-bleed not possible, airspeed 450 knots, altitude permitting. If you have a combined side hydraulic pump failure and the emergency flight hydraulics and the BIDI fail, your combined side hydraulics will be at 0 psi. The in-flight refueling probe uses combined side hydraulics. If you are low on gas, you will have to manually extend the probe. Place the probe switch and extend. Pump the hydraulic hand pump until the probe light illuminates. Check the position of the probe. To retract the probe, reverse the order. To emergency lower the landing gear, slow to less than gear extension speed. Lower the landing gear handle and push the yellow hash box to simulate rotating the gear handle. The F-14 is prone to several types of high-speed departures, including the inertia-coupled departure and flat spin. The inertial-coupled departure is caused by pulling and rolling brake turns, where high AOA turns into side slip and causes the nose to slice in the opposite direction of the control inputs. X-plane does not simulate a coupled departure very well. The most plausible way to get in a flat spin in X-plane is to be at low airspeed, high AOA, perform a brake turn with rudder, and have the engine and the direction of turn fail while the outboard engine is in afterburner. The dead engine will cause drag, and the good engine will cause a powerful yawing moment due to the non-centerline thrust. At low speed and high AOA, the rudders are least effective and cannot compensate for the yaw rate caused by the good engine. If the recovery attempt is delayed, the yaw rate will build up, increasing centripetal force. The aft CG of the F-14 makes it difficult to lower the nose, and the high descent rate and high AOA makes the rudders useless. As the yaw rate increases, the attitude will get flatter and flatter, and recovery will become nearly impossible. If recovery is not made by 5,000 feet, jettison the canopy and eject. A flat spin can be avoided by initiating a prompt recovery. Stick, forward, neutral lateral, harness, lock, throttles, both idle, rudder, opposite turn needle yaw. If recovery is indicated, controls neutralize, recover at 17 units AOA, thrust as required.